Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing this kind of, I don't know what to even call it. I'm part of a Facebook group full of some girls and some guys I met either on like Instagram and Reddit and all sorts of things. And we talk about makeup and stuff, and someone posted a picture of this girl with similar makeup to this and was like, put this on your face. And so I decided I would. So Nicole, this is for you. I did switch a couple things up, just because I did, since it was a very soft look. I added a little more gold and I added a bolder lip. But if you like this kind of fresh, rosy, gold, peach, whatever type look, then just keep watching. Okay, to start out this look, we're just going to start off with Saucebox Psychic. And this is just a matte, kind of corally orange color. And we're going to start using just a fluffy brush, like a 217 by MAC, and applying it, blending it upwards and about halfway across the lid. And kind of coming out to a pointish. This is going to basically be our transition color as well as our lid color. Since this is a very kind of soft look. So this is what we're starting with. That's going to be our first placement of color. Now I'm just going to take that same brush and just kind of tap off the excess. And I'm going to go in with Saucebox 22, which is this shade right here. So it's kind of a neutral to warm pink with a shimmer. And that's going to go on that kind of front quarter. And we're blending it upwards into where that orange is. Then I'm just going to dip into just a little bit of the, what is this called? Forget-Me-Not, which is kind of like a fuchsia color. And just take a very, very tiny bit just to cool that pink just a little bit. I'm working off of a picture of someone gave to me, so I'm trying to get close-ish to those colors. So I'm just going to apply a little more of the tutu color right there. And then, because I want this to not be quite so pink and go a little bit different, I'm going to use NARS Deep Throat. It's their blush. Use at your own risk on your eyes. I just don't have another color like this, so I'm going to use it. And just go kind of over where we placed the tutu color. And just slightly blend the edges of that. Okay, now that we got our concealing done, we're going to go on to the lower part of the eye. So start out with using just some pencil brush. Mine is a Sigma E30. We're going to take the Saucebox Psychic again. And pretty much do what we have going on the upper lash line. So we're just going to pull that across right there. And then go into tutu again. Do that on the inner corner. We're leaving a little bit of space this time. Again, go into Deep Throat by NARS, or another rose gold like colored. The only other rose gold I have is by MAC, and it's like super shimmery, and so I didn't find that fitting, so I didn't want to use that one, which was my issues here. Whoops. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of the Balm Mary Luminizer, and I'm going to put that right kind of where we had that space towards the middle of our lower lash line. So it's going to be like our first color we put there. And then you could leave it at that if you want something more subtle, but I don't really do subtle. So I'm going to do Half Baked there too and really pop the gold just in the very center. And I'm also going to take a little bit of Half Baked, still on the pencil brush so I can be very specific. And I'm just kind of brushing that right where those colors meet on the top lid too. Because why not? Again, you don't have to use Half Baked at all if you're like, Rebecca, you're crazy. It's perfectly fine. So now I'm just going to take this same old blending brush that has the colors on it. And blend those out nicely. Make sure Half Baked's looking good on the top lid. And then I'm just going to kind of alter the shape. Because I always drag mine like down a little bit. This is another optional step. This is again because my eyes are a little bit smaller and I like to make them look bigger. So I'm taking what was a clean, now is wedged Sigma E25 MAC 217. They're the same brush basically. And I'm just kind of blowing out the very edges. Just because then it transitions into my skin really nice. And because I have like a huge amount of color on my eyes, I like to think it makes my eyes look bigger because they're kind of small. But especially if you have big eyes, you don't need to do this. Okay, so now that we got our like colors going on, I'm just going to take a little bit more of the Mary Luminizer and we're going to use that to highlight. So we got kind of a like champagne-y light gold highlight. And then instead of doing a black eyeliner, we're going to do a brown. I'm going to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown because I actually really like this as a liner. And I'm just going to use this Sigma E65, which is like a small angled brush. So I'm not doing a wing liner. This is just kind of coming to a little point. You could do wings with this if you wanted. I don't really want wings with this. I also kind of like smudged as I was going across. Instead of making a really sharp line, it's a little more of a soft line. Just because this look is very like spring and colorful and light, so I wanted to keep it that way. So all I'm going to do now is quickly tightline my eyes, mascara, and throw in some lashes, and then I'll be back to finish the rest of the face. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and finish the face. I opted for the House of Lashes Siren Lashes since I think they're kind of fun and really open the eye and kind of bright and poppy. My brows are also a little bit lighter than normal since I felt that was more fitting for the look. So I only used the Blonde Dip Brow as well as the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Medium Ash. So I'm going to finish off the look because I got some comments from you guys saying that you liked that I completed the makeup look. And that's not something I normally do on my blog post. So I'll just quickly go over what I'm going to do for the rest of the face. So I'm just going to do a really light bit of contouring. If I wasn't going to take, you know, like photos for this, since obviously this will go on like Instagram and I need a thumbnail for YouTube and like all that jazz, then I probably wouldn't even contour. It's more just because I'd photograph. So if you're doing this at home just for kicks and giggles, then you don't need to contour. And even now I'm just keeping it kind of light. I'm only using the Fawn color from the Anastasia contour kit. So now I'm just going to do the blush real quick, and I'm going to use the NARS Deep Throat, but I'm going to go over it with Milani Luminoso, just so I have a little more of a glowy look to me. I'm going to be using, if I can find it, the blusher, which is by Hair and Makeup Addiction. I actually really like this brush. And I'm going to start mostly towards the center of my cheeks, and I'm going to blend outwards. So since I first placed the color here, that's going to be my largest depositing of color. And then I'll still blend kind of upwards and outwards. And you just don't want to get it too close in on your cheek, because otherwise you'll look kind of weird, like your nose is red or something. And I like quite a bit of blush. Plus, blush is so hard to photograph. Like, most of the time I put on way more blush than I would, like, for just doing whatever, just so I can photograph it, because, like, you can't see it. Alright, so now that we kind of have that rosy goldish peaches color going on, we're just going to make it a little more kind of glowy with a little bit of Luminoso. And I'm going to concentrate that towards the top. So like I took the Deep Throat all the way kind of touching where my contour is. With the Luminoso, I'm just going to quickly sweep, almost kind of the idea of like a highlight. So it's going to go like contour to the Deep Throat to Luminoso. Because we'll just add a little more depth and it gives me a nice sheen on my face, since this is more of a fresh look. And for our highlight, I'm going to use MAC Emphasize. Just because I already have a lot going on, and I want this to not be overly shimmery, but I do want it to really lift my face a little bit more since I don't have a lot of contour this time. And the sand color and the vanilla in the Anastasia contour kit isn't quite light enough for my skin if I'm wanting more of an extreme highlight, and that's more just because I'm like super white. So I'm also just gonna take it being the emphasize along the Cupid's bow, center of my nose, and the outer bit of my brow bone. Now throw some brow gel on so my brows aren't going literally everywhere. In the picture, they wanted me to copy. Girl has like light kind of rosy gold pink lips, but I'm just like not about that, at least not right now. So I'm opting for MAC toying around instead. Unfortunately, this was limited edition and it came out with the Playland collection. Well, I hope that was helpful. Here's the finished look. Now I have my lips all the way on. I actually really, and maybe will later, I'm not sure. I really want to pair this with the dark lip. Like, this is like Copenhagen by NYX. And that, or like Black Dahlia. That's like way more what I'm into right now. Springtime, I like dark lips, whatever. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. If these are the type of looks you like, the more like soft, fresh looks, let me know if you prefer something more dramatic. Or if like you really just want to see like whatever I put on my face, let me know that too. So yeah, let me know any questions, comments, or anything else in the comments box below, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, this is just a quick look if you did want to pair it with a darker lip. So here's the NYX Copenhagen instead of just the toying around. Sorry, I don't have my normal mic plugged in because I wasn't planning on doing this. See you guys soon.